Wir machen weiter mit Vampyr und sind hier wieder im Krankenhaus. Ich habe den Part schon mal angefangen und dann wollte ich mich aufleveln und das Spiel ist gecrashed. Aber es wurde zum Glück hier drin gespeichert. So. Ich möchte jetzt nämlich aufleveln, bevor ich mich nach Whitechapel begebe. So. Ausdauer nochmal erhöhen. Ich erhöhe mein Leben jetzt auch wieder. Das geht sich nicht mehr aus. Das geht sich auch nicht mehr aus. Aber das geht sich noch aus. So. Da hat sich zum Glück nicht viel getan. Er ist erschöpft. Sie ist erschöpft. Auch erschöpft. Er hat Kopfschmerzen. Zu ihm werden wir jetzt mal hingehen. Gehen wir mal zu dem Patienten hin. Ich habe gedacht, ich konnte gerade zum Wasser gehen und irgendwas machen.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
Not really. I think I caught something in this bloody hospital. I swear I'm dead, yet smiling inside, Dr. Reed.
As long as you remain here, I will make sure you don't have to worry about your health.
Don't think you can do much about it. damage is done.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Fear and disgust on every street corner.
Gut.
Daily routine.
Dann gibt es noch einen Kranken.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Ja, fehlt noch ein Hinweis.
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
Really? Why has no one else asked me that since I got here? I thought I was in a hospital.
Unfortunately, you are not the only person who needs help. And complaining about it won't do you any good.
Well, perhaps you're right, Dr. Reed. I'm sure if me missus was still alive, she wouldn't be happy with me going on like this.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Wie sieht es bei dem drinnen aus? Sie ist erschöpft, bei ihm ist alles gut. Okay, ich muss nach Whitechapel. Und zwar habe ich den Weg hier schon probiert. Jedoch komme ich da nicht wirklich durch hier. Ich rede mal mit Lady Ashbury.
That was fast.
I'm afraid the trail of breadcrumbs leads beyond the hospital premises. I must leave for a time.
Is that so? Why?
Now it's time for you to be patient. It would seem that your blackmailer is part of a more complex machination whose root is in Whitechapel.
Machination? Do you suspect another immortal is involved?
Nothing points to that. It would seem that the motivations are quite mundane.
Well, then I wish you discreet travels, and that the muses of diplomacy bless your tongue.
I'll return with case solved or carried on my shield.
Okay. Probieren wir es mal mit dieser Richtung. Warum sind die Level 13? Oh. Wie komme ich nach Whitechapel, wenn da überall so starke Gegner sind? Auf dem Weg sind die nämlich auch Level 12, Level 13 gewesen. So, hier kann ich nach links dann.
Better go home, sir.
So, jetzt weiter. Gerade und dann eigentlich nach links.
More and more of these bloody leeches every night. Aye.
This is no place for a gentleman. Step away, sir.
Oh, ne. Da ist die Knallbestie.
I'd step back, sir.
He's mine! I'll take it!
It's locked all right.
Au.
Die, vermin!
Au.
Die, vermin!
Au. Geht's noch? Wieder keine Ausdauer. Jetzt bin ich aber ausgewichen. Da war ich zu langsam. Jetzt. So. Komme ich da jetzt durch? Ja.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Okay, und irgendwo soll hier auch ein neuer Unterschlupf sein. Geradeaus und nach rechts.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert, stop it!
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me.
I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. If she's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything. It ain't me.
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Goodbye, young man.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
What?
Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. Now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
Yes. Sounds like shell shock. I've seen a few cases like yours. This is nothing you should be ashamed of, Benjamin. And it's perfectly natural in your situation.
I'm not ashamed. I just need my pills. Peace and quiet, that's all.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week.
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss off.
Okay, kein neuer Hinweis hier.
Goodbye, young man.
The wet boots will be proud of me.
Sort of bloody joke to you, innit?
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Okay, dann handeln
I'd
wir
like
mal.
to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
Okay, brauchen wir mal nichts.
Its effectiveness has been proven by many. Even the flu.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Okay.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Okay. Aber hinter mir und danach links ist ein Unterschlupf. Das müsste der Unterschlupf sein. Ein Ring. Noch ein Ring. Okay. Da komme ich wieder raus. Hier kann ich mich hinlegen. Das lassen wir alles mal so. Details, das würde ich gerne aufwerten. Waffenaufwertung. Du kannst deine Waffe mit den erforderlichen Bestandteilen auf eine neue Stufe aufwerten. Sie verursacht mehr Schaden und du erhältst aus dem Zugang zu Plätzen zur Modifizierung. Was fehlt mir hier? Ah, Arbeitstisch, okay. Ja stimmt, du hast ausreichend Bestandteile, um eine Behandlung oder ein Serum herzustellen. Ja. Oh, aber das stelle ich mir her. Zweimal gleich. So. Und zwar möchte ich mir die hier aufwerten. Ausdauerverbrauch um 10% senken oder nimmt Blutpunkte auf, wenn die Waffe trifft. Ich nehme mehr Blutpunkte. Stufe 3 geht leider nicht. Ich habe hier aber gesehen, die ist zweihandig, dass ich die hier nehmen kann. 15 und 20. 15 und 15. Da bleibe ich bei meiner jetzigen. Hier nach unten regeneriere ich Leben, nach oben regeneriere ich Blut. Den legen wir uns noch einmal hin. Kostet 600, kann ich nicht. Aber das. Okay. Dann würde ich sagen, war es das wieder für heute. Danke fürs Zuschauen. Bis zum nächsten Mal.